Hi, this is April checking in again. Wishing you a wonderful day. If you're going to bed, I wish your tomorrow to be wonderful and I bless the rest of your week for signs and wonders. I was thinking a little bit about how people have been dealt with by God, the Most High God Jehovah, over the years. Now, in the scriptures, God called his own chosen people stubborn and stiff necked. And what that means is sort of like they were prideful, and because they were prideful, they couldn't admit that they were wrong about anything, and they couldn't change their mind or change, period, because you have to be pliable in order to change, and you have to be willing to admit that you don't have all the answers in order to shift your thinking and behavior patterns to match what God is asking you to do. So, over time, if you continue to, when you make mistakes, refuse to correct those mistakes because you can't admit that you were wrong, you become someone who's in complete rebellion to the Most High God. It is written that stubbornness is iniquity, it's being wrong. It's like the sin of witchcraft. You're resisting another voice outside of your own, trying to guide you into what's right. And the reason why this is such a big problem is because people who continuously dig their heels in and go against what the Most High God is telling them to do will eventually be destroyed. God will put the axe to the root of the bad branches on the tree. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm seeing is a lot of people, when they see things not going right, instead of repenting and turning around or even asking God, is there something I did wrong? And being willing, if he says that there is something that they didn't get correctly, for all have fallen short of the glory of God. So, what happens is you keep bumping into a barrier. Like there's an invisible barrier that feels like a brick wall when you go the direction that the Most High God told you not to go. Okay? And specifically, if it is regarding another human and that other human is a chosen one of God also, it's really going to be a problem if God keeps telling you to do one thing with them and you're doing something different because you're going against the plans and purposes of the Most High God, and now you're going to keep running and ramming into a brick wall every time you try to do the wrong thing with this person. And becoming humble enough to repent and change what you're doing would be all that's needed at the front end to evade calamity. But if you keep doing it and keep doing it, you're stubborn, stiff necked, and eventually will be destroyed because it's the same pattern throughout the Bible and throughout my lifetime and watching myself and everybody else go through the same type of things at different times. I remember one time God was telling me to do a certain thing, and I was determined that I wasn't going to because I was angry at the people he wanted me to bless. I was mad at them and I did not want to help them and I did not want to bless them and I was angry. So I went the other direction and I dug my heels in for almost a year. I became very stubborn. I was like, if you want to bless them, Lord, You're going to have to find somebody else to do it. You know that thing that they say now, you're going to have to get somebody else to do it because I'm not doing it, you know? And like, I got in so much trouble. Like, God kept whipping me. And that's what we call it in the Midwest, a whipping. When you get chastised and it hurts real bad. But I went through it for almost a year until I gave up. I just eventually I said, God, I understand why I'm in trouble. I'm like Jonah in the belly of the whale. I'm just upset and hurt and I don't want to, you know? And I eventually did exactly what he told me to do for the people he told me to do it for, regardless of what they had done to mess up before. And that's what I'm telling you, that until you do what God told you to do for the people he told you to do it for, you'll keep running into the brick walls that he set up around that situation. And it's pretty simply fixed. But are you humble enough to fix it? And yes, God still loves you. He still loves the other person too. That's why you both are going through this cycle. And I call it a cycle because it's not your first time around with this person. You keep going around and around. You don't want to bless them. You're stubborn. And God said, stop it. Alrighty then. That's all I have to say about that. I think it's going to work out. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And let that yes or no be from the Most High.